In problem 1, we are asked to write an equivalent expression in symbols. Now we're actually going to write an equation because we're going to use an equal sign. So what we want to do is convert this sentence here to symbols. So first up, we see we've got the letter P. Now that represents a variable, could be any number at all, but we have P and 1. So it says the sum of P and 1. The sum is an addition, right? So we're going to have P, the sum of P and 1, that'll be a 1, is, all right, so here's the word is, and that's an equal sign, is 5. Problem number 2, pretty much the same as problem number 1. What we are asked to do is to write an equivalent expression. So we're not an expression, we're going to write an equation because we're going to use an equal sign. And I know that because the word is in there. All right, so we want to write an equivalent expression using symbols. Now we've got the quotient. Quotient means a division. The quotient of division of two things, x and 9. So let's write that. So we will have the division, all right? So we'll have a division of x and 9, and the first number goes on top, the second number goes on the bottom. So the first number is the numerator, second number is the denominator. Then we come to is, so let's write is. Is what? Equal to, all right, equal to, there's our equal to, is equal to what now? The sum, so we're going to have an addition of x and 15. So we're going to add x and 15. So what we're going to have here is x plus 15. Problem number 3 is intended to give us practice using the rule for order of operations. So we're going to simplify each one of these expressions. Now you can see we got a 5, 8, and 3, 5, 8, and 3, 5, 8, and 3. So, but there's going to be different orders here. So we're just going to practice in here. Let's review the order of operations. As you go left to right through an expression, right, you go left through right, left to right, left to right, and you do these operations as you encounter them. You do powers and roots. All right, so take care of any powers. This is supposed to represent raising something to a power, and that's a root. Right, so you do powers and roots first, then you come back left to right, you do multiplications and divisions as you encounter them. They have the same weight. Then you come back left to right and you do additions and subtractions. So let's take a look at part A. Doesn't look like an A there, but it is an A. 5.8, so 5 times 8 plus 3. Now, according to the order of operations, I've got two operations here, right? I've got a times, a multiplication, and an addition. I do the multiplications first, right? I'm going left to right. So I do multiplications before additions. So we're going to write here, 5 times 8 is 40, and then there's only one thing left to do, and that's to add 3, so we will get 43. So let's put a 43 in our answer field. Now in part B, we've got 5 dot times quantity 8 plus 3, and we know we work in parentheses first. So the first thing we're going to do is work in here. Now there's only one operation, that's addition, so we're going to have 5 times 24. Now 5 times 24. Well, you can do it in your head maybe. Here, I'll try it like this. 5 times 4 is 20. All right, so I'm going to have a 0. Oh, let's get a 0 here. And then I'll carry that 2. And then I have 5 times 2 is 10, but I'm carrying the 2. So it's going to be 10 and 2 is 12. So it's 120, or just do it on a calculator. So let's put that into our answer block up here. So we're going to put in 120. And in part C, we have 5 times 8 plus 5 times 3. So you can see we've got a multiplication, an addition, and a multiplication. So just go through left to right, doing the multiplications first, right? We have multiplication, addition, multiplication. Multiplications before additions. So move through left to right, and let's write those. 5 times 8, all right, so this one we're going to get a 40. Then we're going to do the plus. Then we're going to have a 15. And now just one addition left, so this is going to be 40, and 15 is 55. So we will put 55 in our solution field here. This problem number 4 is going to give us some more practice using the order of operations. So just to be sure, the order of operations we know go like this. As you look left to right, as you encounter these operations, you do powers first. Let me get a power. There's a power and a root. So as you encounter them, you do powers and roots first. Then you come back through and you do multiplications and divisions as you encounter them. They both have the same weight. Then you do additions and subtractions. Let's see what we have in part A here. Now in part A, we have this quantity, 8 plus 4. So the sum of 8 and 4, we're going to multiply that by this quantity, 8 minus 4. So working in parentheses first, we're going to do this one, then we're going to do this one. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 8 minus 4 is 4. And now we've got a multiplication. These parentheses, the parentheses right next to each other indicate a multiplication. This could be the same as, you could see it as this. 12 times 4, or if you like, 12 times 4, 12 times 4, all right? But this set of parentheses right next to this set of parentheses indicates the multiplication. So if we multiply 12 and 4 together, we're going to get 48. So let's put 48 in our solution field here. We'll get 48 there. Now in part B, we're still going to be using the 8 and the 4, but now we've got an 8 squared minus 4 squared. So I see 3 operations here. I see an exponential, right, raising to a power, and a subtraction. So I've got powers and subtraction. So running through left to right, we'll do the powers first. So let's see, we're going to square, and we're going to square. So we will have 8 squared is really this, right? Just in your head, that's what you're thinking. 8 times 8, so you get 64. Minus, and then 4 squared, what you're thinking, you don't have to write it out, but it's just 4 times 4, which is 16. And now, one operation left, subtraction. 64 minus 16 turns out to be 48. Do it in your head or use a calculator if you like. So let's write that 48 in our solution field up here at the top. So we'll put a 48 there. What do you know? It's the same as the first one. And now in part C, we're going to have the quantity 8 minus 4 squared. All right, so work in parentheses first. 8 minus 4 is 4 squared. And now we've got a power here, so we're going to square 4. So I'm thinking 4 times 4. So I'm thinking 16. So let's put a 16 in our solution field up here at the top left. 16. Now, let's make a note here. Look at C and D. All right, what I want to do is I want to compare, not C and D, B and C. Compare B and C. Now, here is C. I'm going to write that first. 8 minus 4 squared, that's C. And then here's B, right? So this is C here. And then B is 8 squared minus 4 squared. All right, so this one here is C. This one over here is B. Now you can see that this one here, C, we got a 16. In B, we got 48. And clearly 16 is not equal to 48. So what we've got here is this, that if we square, I've got an operation in here. I square it. That is different than squaring the individuals. All right, so what I'm saying is that if I had, I'll just do this in general. So instead of 8 and 4, if I just had any 2 numbers at all, maybe one is X, one is Y, I could say this, that x minus y squared is not equal to x squared minus y squared. Problem 5 is going to give us even more practice using these rules for the order of operations. Now, I'll write the order of operations up here at the top. We've done that both in numbers 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 for that matter. But as you go left to right, you do powers and roots. Then you go back through. Now, if there are none of these, you don't have to worry about it. And you just start here. Multiplications and divisions. Just do them as you encounter them left to right. And then come back through and do additions and subtractions. Now, for part A, we've got 60 minus 18 divided by 6 plus 1. I see 3 operations. I see subtraction, division, and addition. Now I see a division. Division is higher than subtraction and addition, so I'll do the division first. So let's work this division first here. I'm going to do this one. If I can get it to right. So we're going to get 60 minus, now just do this one right here. 18 divided by 6, it's 3 plus 1. Now I've got a subtraction and an addition. Let's do the subtraction first. Just as I go left to right, just do them as you encounter them. So what do we have? I'll do this one here. 60 minus 3 is 57, and then plus 1. So we end up here with a 58. So I'm going to put a 58 into our solution field up here. That's part A. Now part B, we have the same numbers, 60, 18, and 6 and 1, but a different order is implied here. So we're going to have the quantity 60 minus 18 divided by 6, and then a plus 1. Now in this case, we have a set of parentheses, so I'm going to work through that one first. So 60 minus 18. All right, 60 minus 18 is going to be a 42. I did that by thinking 60 minus 20 is 40, but I'm 2 less, so I'll bring it up to 42. Divided by 6 plus 1. Now I've got 2 operations. I have a division and I have an addition. So do the division first. Right? Division is higher ranked than addition or subtraction. So doing the division, 42 divided by 6 is 7, plus 1, which is an 8. So let's write that 8 in our solution field. Now, just run a quick comparison between A and B. In A over here, we had the 60 minus 18. We have the 60 minus 18 over here. But then this is divided by 6. This whole thing is divided by 6. Over here, only the 18 is divided by 6. So by the order of operations over here, I do the division first, getting the 3. Over here in B, because I have parentheses, I do the operation inside the parentheses first, getting that 42. Now in part C, we've got 60 minus 18 in parentheses, so we know we're going to run through that one first, divided by this quantity, 6 plus 1. All right, so we've got parentheses here. I'll work through that. I'll work through this one here. So 60 minus 18 is 42. Then divide by 6 plus 1, which is 7. Now one operation left. 42 divided by 7 is 6. So let's just put that 6 to complete everything here.